Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN on YouTube, and welcome to the Lakers post game show on ZSPN on YouTube. So, guys, the Lakers, finally, after a overtime, triple overtime performance from the Lakers, they end up losing. They end up losing in an embarrassing manner. I have to say this was one of the most disappointing loss from the Los Angeles Lakers that I ever seen one from the Los Angeles Lakers in overtime, especially in a triple overtime game. I was just dumbfounded by how the Lakers basically won tonight. And before I get into the stats and the results and the needs that need to be changed and just the same old talking points of how to improve on the Los Angeles Lakers, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys are in this live stream, please comment on the live stream so I can answer your questions in real time. And if you like all of my social media sites, I really do appreciate it. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at ZSPN. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me all across social media. And of course, on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. So, guys, let's get started. I mean, this was a must win for the Los Angeles Lakers. There's no other way around it. When you have the Kings who are shorthanded from injuries that they have on their own roster, it seemed that the Lakers would have had a cakewalk by just getting a win over the Sacramento Kings. But unfortunately, it just wasn't the case. And there's a lot to talk about, and I don't know how to express my frustration of how the Lakers could have turned this around and got this win. When it came down to it, guys, I mean, the fourth quarter really gotten away from the Los Angeles Lakers. They were up by 13 points, and for some reason, they just fell under the pressure, as they always do when it comes to having a certain lead, and just somehow they just don't seem to get a certain lead and just keep on going. For some reason, they just take a lean back and just decide to, just decide to not get a win for some reason. So it was just a bad situation for the Lakers. And, just looking at the stats, I mean, the stats really don't really matter to me. It doesn't. Okay. How do you lose in a triple overtime game? I mean, this is the Los Angeles Lakers. You have LeBron James, one of the greatest players on the planet. Then you have Anthony Davis, one of the best big men in this league. And then you have Russell Westbrook, a future Hall of Famer, Mr. Triple-Double himself, which he obviously, performed tonight. He had a triple-double game. And, let's give him some props. I mean, there's been times throughout the overtime games, that Russell Westbrook did step up for the Los Angeles Lakers. But, when it came down to it, the rest of the Lakers did not do so, especially when it comes to LeBron James. Now, let's get to LeBron James for a bit, okay? LeBron James had 30 points and had 7 rebounds and 11 assists, but he led the Lakers tonight in 7 turnovers. Kind of the opposite of what Russell Westbrook does for the Lakers for these past 20 games now into the regular season. And, when it came down to it, guys, those threes were just so disappointing from the Los Angeles Lakers, especially when it came to LeBron James. I mean, how do you go 2 of 13 from the 3? I mean, can you realize when it came to the second, I believe it was the first overtime game and the second, that when you're making those final shots for the 3, that they were not going in? I mean, the obvious choice would probably, you should have gave the ball to, either Carmelo Anthony or Malik Monk, who obviously, when I'm looking at their stats now, they went 4 of 7 uh, when it comes to Malik Monk from the three. Then you had Carmelo Anthony, who did not really had a great night, but he still managed to give us 4 of 9 from the three. But for some reason, LeBron James thought, I've been shooting threes left and right like crazy today, or for the past couple of games into the regular season. I think I can pull it off. And for some reason, it did not. LeBron. I mean, I don't know what came this type of mindset that you continue to shoot threes for the Los Angeles Lakers that will somehow change things. I mean, I did not see any sort of change whatsoever when it comes to LeBron James making threes that would obviously go through, and it did not. I mean, you went 2 of 13. What made you think that you were this? When you think you were Steph Curry for some reason? I don't know, but for some reason, he just kept on shooting those threes, and it just did not go through. You went 2 of 13. I mean, what made you think that you're going to make more threes? Throughout the overtime games from the first, second, and third, overtime. So I don't know. It's just one of those type of situations where I think maybe some people may blame, Frank Vogel for the Lakers, you know, bad rotation, because if you notice, guys, I mean, the Lakers, Frank Vogel stuck with the same lineup in the first overtime game, the second. Then when it came to the third, he tried to change it, Avery Bradley in for Carmelo Anthony, which was also a bad move on, Frank Vogel's part, because, as a result, when you look at, when you look at, Avery Bradley, he only played for 11 minutes and shot 2 points. I mean, and sure, he had 6 rebounds, but, that didn't really change the course of the game. But for some reason, I think I understood why. Maybe he wanted to play defense for some reason, but more, to guard certain players, but it didn't work. So that's why Carmelo Anthony was right away inserted back into the lineup in like maybe 30 or 20 seconds left into the triple overtime. So it was just another opportunity that missed from Frank Vogel when it came down to it. So I just have to say, guys, it was just a bad decision move from Frank Vogel. And guys, I'm telling you guys this right now, Frank Vogel is in the hot seat. He is. And with this loss against obviously one of the worst teams in the Western Conference, in the Sacramento Kings, a shorthanded Sacramento Kings, it kind of seems that Frank Vogel will end up getting fired potentially from this. And it still remains to be seen. You never know. I mean, I don't know what Rob Pelinka and the Lakers management are thinking from this loss, but judging by how they've been doing things when it comes to Frank Vogel, it kind of seems like they're still want to keep him on. But I'm telling you guys this now. I mean, I am, just sick and tired of Frank Vogel's rotation as of late and his coaching. I mean, you are a defensive minded coach. I mean, how do you not put in the efforts on the defensive end? I mean, the Lakers did not play defense whatsoever. I mean, they just allowed players like De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, which I have to say, he played very well when it came to shooting tonight, especially in overtime. So, comparisons, I mean, sure, Russell Westbrook played very well out there, but in comparing the shooting side, I would rather have Buddy Hield being shooting for the Los Angeles Lakers. But it is what it is. We have Russell Westbrook, and there's nothing to change from that. So, I mean, but Frank Vogel is in the hot seat, and I probably expect him maybe to get fired, but or just obviously, I mean, we just have to see. We just have to wait. I mean, it still remains to be seen what Rob Pelinka will do, but it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I mean, the Lakers are now 10 of 11 as a record in the regular season. So it's not looking good. Not looking good for the Los Angeles Lakers. And, I just have to say, I mean, you know, I think I speak for most Laker fans when I'm saying that I'm done with Frank Vogel. I mean, you're a defensive coach. I mean, how do you not play defense in overtime and then the second and then the triple? I mean, I just don't get it. Don't really get it. So he's in the hot seat now. And then let's just go over some more of the Lakers stats. I mean, I already mentioned LeBron James, Russell Westbrook. I mean, he had a triple double out there tonight. Ironically, the Lakers, end up losing in triple overtime, but he still managed to get a triple double out there. Had 29 points and had 10 rebounds and 11 assists. Had 3 turnovers, so he's controlling that side of things. Had 2 steals and still managed to get us 2 of 4 from the three. So I was just, very impressed by Russell Westbrook's performance, especially when it came to those triple overtime games where he was just on a roll and really helping out the Lakers to really win this game. But, the rest really needed to step up. And, you have to blame Frank Vogel once again for the rotation. You stuck with the same rotation for at least the first and second overtime. And as I mentioned, even though he wanted to switch up with Carmelo Anthony for Avery Bradley in the final 20 seconds left into the triple overtime game, it still didn't work out. You right away changed the lineup, and that's what ended up happening. So that's the only change that he made. But he's still stuck with that lineup and it just did not work out whatsoever. And Malik Monk, I mean, yeah, he really helped the Lakers big time when it came to, in the fourth quarter. He really stepped up for the Los Angeles Lakers when it came to shooting those threes and just really helping out on the offensive side. But for some reason, he did not score in any of the overtime games, and Frank Vogel still kept him on. I mean, you could have went with, I don't know, THT possibly. Maybe you could have gone with him, on the defensive side. But for some reason, you still stuck with the lineup in the first overtime game and then the second, and then you somehow changed it up in like 20 seconds left into the triple overtime game. And then, you, as I said, you went with Avery Bradley and stuff. So, and you subbed in Carmelo Anthony instead of maybe Malik Monk or something like that. So, he went that route. And I think, with that results, he is going to be in the hot seat for what it stands right now. And I think I just got a comment right there. All my blame is on LeBron for taking 2 game-winning threes when we didn't need it. Yeah, that's true. As I said, when it came to the beginning of this live stream, I said it when it came down to it. LeBron James shooting those threes was just unnecessary. I mean, as you see in his results of his stats, he went 2 of 13 from the three. So he kept on going, shooting those threes just to be the song hero of just shooting those threes for the Lakers. And for some reason, it did not end up going through. I mean, he obviously should have realized that it was not working. So he could have just made possibly some mid-range shots, maybe make a dunk to make the Lakers go for a 2-point lead or something like that. So it was just a bad decision from LeBron James when it came down to making those 2 game-winning threes that was never needed because of it. So because it ended up missing. So thank you for that comment, DJ Ben. I really do appreciate it. And guys, if you have any more comments, please comment in this live stream so I can answer them as I just did. So and that's a really good question and or answer from DJ Ben. So yeah, just I have that put that out there, and I even said it during this live stream. So thank you for that comment. And just continuing on, but Russell Westbrook had a great night. I have to say, a solid performance for Russell Westbrook. Had a triple double in the triple overtime loss against the Sacramento Kings, a shorthanded Sacramento Kings. So, you know, then you have Anthony Davis, who had a very bad night. He really did, guys. I mean, you played for 48 minutes, gave us 23 points with 9 of 22 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three. So, his shooting as of late for the Lakers is not looking good. And, this season, really, when it comes down to Anthony Davis shooting this, threes as of late. And then he had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, had, I believe, 3 steals and 4 blocks. I mean, that's not bad, but I have to say, overall, he just wasn't himself throughout this particular game tonight. And, you know, sure he stepped up in the overtime games, but it just wasn't enough. And you know guys, he just didn't have a great night. He really didn't. And I'm not sure if he's still feeling some flu-like symptoms or something, but for some reason he just did not step up whatsoever. And I don't know who's to blame when it comes to Anthony Davis, when it comes to the Lakers, but Anthony Davis is one of those certain players who did not step up out there tonight. So just had to put that out there about his game results of tonight's game. And if you're coming in this live stream, please comment in this live stream so I can answer your questions. And if you honestly can blame somebody from this loss, who would you blame? Would you blame LeBron, Anthony Davis, Frank Vogel? I mean, please give me your thoughts. I would read them right there in the comment stream right here. So please feel free to do so. Much appreciated. Um, so just continuing on, and just he just had a bad night. And then when you look at the rest, I mean, DJ, he would. Don't get me started with DJ. He did not have any influence in this game. So I just, ignore him. Then Avery Bradley. I already mentioned Avery Bradley. I mean, for some reason, Frank Vogel felt the need to put him back in the triple overtime, sub in for Carmelo Anthony. And, he was only there for like 10 seconds. And then somehow Frank Vogel decided to put back Carmelo Anthony. And for the right reason. I mean, he shot the three for the Lakers to take them up by at one point it was just up by two. No, down by two. But the fouls, and it just ended up as a result of the free throws from Buddy Hield, and the result of the game 141 to 137. So as a result, but Carmelo Anthony did come in and really help the Lakers a bit, but it just wasn't the case at the end results. So just had to put that out there. And then you have Malik Monk, who had 20 points, and as I mentioned, he went 4 of 7 from the three. Not bad from Malik Monk, and he was the driving force in the fourth quarter, where he really helped the Lakers out of just extending the lead a bit. But for some reason, the Lakers, lost the manage of the game, and they just somehow felt they just fell from a 13-point deficit, and it's just as a result of that, we ended up being in triple overtime because of that. So not a lot of effort from the Lakers on the defensive side, and it's just just a bad performance overall from the Lakers when it comes down to it. And and guys, for those of you who are coming in, please comment in this live stream so I can answer any of your questions. Who is to blame for this loss? I mean, is it LeBron? Is it Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Frank Vogel, his rotation? As I mentioned, I mean, guys, he is to blame, to be honest with you. I mean, Frank Vogel had a bad decision when it came to the rotation, especially when it came to still keeping the same rotation in the first overtime and then the second. And then when it came to the third, as I mentioned, he just, kept on having the same lineup, but decided to change substitution for Carmelo Anthony and put in Avery Bradley. But I don't know what was his mindset there. Maybe have Avery Bradley on the defensive side, but right away he changed it up and put back Carmelo Anthony in the lineup, and he just kept the lineup, and I just did not understand why. I mean, maybe he could have possibly put I don't know, like THT possibly, or just had a better lineup instead of keeping the same lineup from the first and second. So I don't know, maybe things would have changed then, but at the end of the day, the defense did not step up whatsoever. And this is a defensive minded coach. And guys, as a result of this loss, I mean, this is so disappointing. I was really hoping the Lakers would have won in overtime the first time. And they basically end up doing so, but for some reason they did not step up whatsoever. And I just have to say it was just such a disappointing performance from the Los Angeles Lakers overall. And just looking at more of the stat line, I mean, looking at THT had 7 points. He one of three, but as of late, guys, he hasn't been really stepping up for the Lakers ever since maybe LeBron James being back in the starting lineup. That probably changed the momentum of his game since his return from injury. So his presence was what not really that needed out there. So yeah, then you have Wayne Ellington, who had 6 points, went 2 of 2 from the three, and there was some efforts on his part when it came to the third and fourth quarter when it came to shooting those threes that really helped the Lakers out. But for some reason, the Lakers did not capitalize and just ended up, losing by a 13-point deficit and just ended up going into the overtime. And that was just a bad performance from the Lakers in the fourth quarter. And, just overall, really, when it came down to it. So, and guys, for those of you who are entering, please comment in this live stream. I really want to know your thoughts about the Lakers' loss in the triple overtime game and who is to blame. I really want to know, who do you think is to blame for this loss against the Sacramento Kings, a shorthanded Sacramento Kings? I mean, that's the ironic thing. I mean, the Lakers had an opportunity to beat the Sacramento Kings because of how shorthanded they are. And they even fired their head coach, Luke Walton. I mean, that's the ironic and the irony about this. I mean, the Lakers had an opportunity to beat one of the worst teams in the Western Conference in the Kings. So it's just another missed opportunity for the Lakers, especially when it comes to, them going into overtime, where the Lakers have a good history of winning in overtime games. But for some reason, the third overtime, it did not end up, being this this result of this of winning. But instead, they lost. So that's just a reality of how the Lakers ended up losing in the triple overtime. And guys, I just hope Rob Pelinka and the Lakers management finally come to a decision and probably just decide possibly to fire Frank Vogel, because it is not working whatsoever. Okay. And especially when it comes to defense. I mean, this is a defensive minded coach. I mean, how do you not, play hard defense against a what do you call the Sacramento Kings? So it's just a very bad results of the Lakers. Win tonight. So it's just bad altogether, guys. And I just very disappointing. Very disappointing. Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats still. I think I said what I had to say. Just looking here. The Lakers did lead when it came to threes tonight. Comparing to the Kings, the Lakers overall went 15 of 44. But that all had to do with Carmelo Anthony and Malik Monk, who went 4 of 7 for Malik Monk and 4 of 9 for Carmelo Anthony. But other than that, it was bad shooting overall for the Lakers. I mean, that's just the reality and the truth when it comes to the results of the Los Angeles Lakers. And shooting overall was bad. Defensively, it was bad. And the only player that, if I had to put a blame on a certain player, I would have to put the blame on LeBron James. I really have to, guys, because as I mentioned, he goes 2 of 13 from the three. Bad altogether. I mean, you knew that you were not shooting very well from the three throughout the game. Why do you continue to shoot those threes? I do not know why. I do not know why. You could have ended up possibly just, go for mid range, go to the field, make a dunk, do something to help the Lakers get to a lead by, I don't know, by 2 points or, 4, something like that. But for some reason, he did not. And it's just a bad results overall. Um, yeah. So, and guys, if you have any comments, please comment in this live stream so I can answer your questions. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me on this channel and all across social media. I mean, I really do appreciate it. I mean, with the love support you guys give me all across social media is just so overwhelming, and I do appreciate it. So please, comment in this live stream and tell me who's to blame. I mean, I think we all know who was to blame. I mean, you can blame it on LeBron, you can blame it on Frank Vogel, or maybe Anthony Davis. I mean, there's just a lot of blame to go around when it comes to the Lakers and this loss. I mean, it's just so disappointing. And the Lakers management, they need to do something, and they need to do something bad, because they are not going to win any sort of championships. They're not going to end up winning anything if they keep this up. So, at the end of the day, they just need to do something to, change the course of this Lakers team, because, before the season, they were the favorites to win it all. They were going to win the championship. And, with the combinations of Russell Westbrook and LeBron and Anthony Davis, I mean, nothing will stop them. And it's just, it's just not looking good. Not looking good for the Lakers. And uh, championship aspirations, it is not going to happen. I mean, it is not if they keep this up. It is if they keep this up. Um, so yeah, guys. I mean, that's all I really have to bring up. I mean, I am tired. I am tired because I just am done when it comes to how this Lakers have been playing as of late, especially when it comes to easy, winnable games. And the Sacramento Kings with a short-handed, lineup or roster, it was just another missed opportunity for the Lakers. And I think I said what I had to say, guys. And I just hope that things will start to change for the Lakers moving forward, because this is unacceptable whatsoever. And I hope, Rob Pelinka is, watching and, seeing how the Lakers have been. And I won't be surprised if Frank Vogel gets fired, because it's just so unacceptable. And things need to change, and need to be changed right away, because it's just not looking good. And for those of you who agree with me on it, please comment down below. And I'm probably going to end this live stream, because I obviously said what I had to say, and I think I speak for most Laker fans when it comes to who's to blame. Obviously LeBron, but you have to also blame the coaching because of the rotations and stuff. So you have to put that blame on those certain, individuals, because, they ended up not stepping up. And LeBron just, and at the end of the day, didn't really step up for the Lakers. I mean, yeah, he led the Lakers with 30 points, and stuff, but shooting was the main problem for the Lakers, and he is to blame, because of it. Um, so yeah, guys. I mean, that's all I really had to say. I mean, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel. Please like all of my social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter @ZSPN. And guys, if you have any thoughts and opinions about the Lakers' loss, please comment after this live stream, or if those of you who are watching, please comment in this live stream because I really want to answer your questions. And but judging by nobody being in this live stream, I mean, it's all good. And you can obviously answer or comment after the live stream, so it's all fine. So please comment down below, give me your thoughts about who's to blame for this Lakers loss. It's just I really want to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and guys, like all of my social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter @ZSPN. Just comment, and I'll leave the links into the description of this video so you guys can check out my social media sites. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.